What's up guys, it's the Hockey Radar tracking drafts and prospects, and today we have yet another 2026 draft series video featuring number 4 for the Prince George Cougars in the Western Hockey League, Carson Carels. Back-to-back defensemen in this series on the heels of the Chase Reed video. Make sure to go check that one out as well as tons of other prospect content on my channel. Originally from Cypress River, Manitoba, Carson Carels is a 6'2", 195-pound left shot defenseman, and he is 17 years old until next June, making him one of the younger players in this draft. Carels is a puck-moving two-way defenseman. He is strong in both ends of the ice, which should really help his draft stock, as many of the defensemen ranked above him are very offensively minded, and if you're looking for a two-way defenseman, Carson Carels may be your guy. Speaking of rankings, Carson Carels comes in ranked anywhere between 11 and 15. And personally, I believe he will go in the earlier end of that range, around the 11th or 12th overall pick at next year's draft. He was the 15th overall pick in the 2023 Western Hockey League draft, being the 5th defenseman taken that year, behind some of the big 2026 names like Keaton Verhoff, Ryan Lynn, Daxon Rudolph, all of which have videos out on my page, so make sure to go check those out. After being drafted, he would return to the Canadian Sports School Hockey League, where he would put up a dominating performance with 18 goals, 50 points in just 27 games. He would then join the Cougars late in that season and put up 3 assists in those remaining 7 games. Going into his first Western Hockey League season as a 16-year-old in 2024-25, he would put up 6 goals, 29 assists for 35 points in a 60-game season and added 1 goal and 3 assists in 7 playoff games. He would join Canada at both the U17s with 4 assists in 4 games, picking up a silver medal, and at the U18s putting up a goal in 7 games, along with being a +11 and picking up a gold medal. This past summer, he would again represent Canada at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, getting into only 4 games and registering 1 assist while picking up a bronze medal for a disappointing Canada showing. So far this season for the Cougars, he has put up 3 goals, 8 assists for 11 points in 12 games, a much stronger point pace in his second full season, and I think he can sustain this and end off with 15 goals, 47 assists for 62 points in a full 60-plus game season. Overall, Carson Carels is a solid two-way defenseman who showed flashes of some offensive potential last season and who has really found that next level in the first 12 games of this current year. I think he could be a strong 3rd or 4th defenseman at the NHL level, getting time on both the power play and penalty kill, and I think if he can sustain this offensive production and translate it to the next level, I think he could be a solid 35 to 40 point guy in the big leagues. Watching Carels play, he is very solid in the defensive zone, great active stick and good positioning. When he engages with the puck carrier, he has good physicality, and with his build, he is stronger than most guys in the league. Personally, I think he needs to work a bit on his gap control. Right now, he is giving up too much space when the forward enters the zone, and often he's able to make up for it with strong stick work, but you can't always rely on that, and you need to gap up and close in before they can get a shot off. I also think he needs to engage more with the net front forward and clear them from the front of the net, a little too nonchalant about someone being so close to your goalie looking for tips and rebounds. Most of this stuff is just me nitpicking, as he really is strong all around in the defensive zone. On the other side of his game, he is a strong puck distributor in all 3 zones of the ice, great breakout stretch passes through the neutral zone that can beat several oncoming forecheckers and lead to on-man rushes, and in the O-zone, he is good at finding the open man. He's got a good shot from the point, leads to lots of rebounds for the forwards in and around the crease. When he has time and space, he can really snipe it from the slot area. He can also unleash a heavy one-timer, which I would like to see more compared to last year. He only had 6 goals all of last season, and he already has 3 so far this season, so you can tell he's shooting more and more efficiently, and with his shot, I really think he can get up to the 15 to 18 goal range. He is a good skater with the puck, and he knows when to go for a skate and jump up on the play, and if he has space, he can really fly through the neutral zone. In the O-zone, he knows when to activate and can beat the first forward and take the puck deep when needed. On the special teams, he gets power play time, and with his shooting and distribution, I could definitely see him running a second power play unit in the NHL. And on the PK, he has great defensive ability with a man down that I could see translating to the NHL. Overall, not one skill stands out above the rest, but everything about his game is strong. Some teams will be looking for the flashy skating or flashy moves from some of their D-men in this draft, like Villeneuve or Ryan Lynn, but if you're looking for an all-around strong defenseman in the top 15, look for Carson Carels. If he can sustain his current production and maybe fix some of the holes on defense, although they are not very glaring, I think he could go in the early teens at next year's draft around the 11 to 13 mark. Some teams that I think should target Carson Carels at next year's draft, and assuming they get a pick in the 10 to 15 range. I will finally leave Seattle alone, as I do think they'll end up with a higher pick and opt for a more flashy offensive defenseman from this class. Team number 1, I'll go with Philadelphia, as I mentioned a few episodes ago that they have selected some top tier forwards at their last few drafts with Michkov, Martone, and even Nesbitt, and for a team who will likely finish outside the playoffs, I think they should target a defenseman in June. With Cam York and Jamie Drysdale not fully realizing their potential, Philly is in desperate need of a young defenseman who can come up with all these young talented forwards, and I think Carson Carels would be a great complement to those players. With Michkov and Martone, you don't need a flashy offensive defenseman in Villeneuve or Ryan Lynn. All you need is a solid defenseman who can move the puck to one of those wingers and who can play a strong two-way game, and for me, that would best fit Daxon Rudolph or Carson Carels, assuming they don't get a pick high enough for Keaton Bearhoff, of course. Carels would be a great addition as again, he can provide solid two-way stability, and I think he would be a perfect fit for the systems and styles that coach Rick Tocchet would look for. If they can scoop up Carels, maybe they can move on from one of York or Drysdale while they're still young and still have value for someone more established and really solidify their future decor. Next up, the Nashville Predators have also picked a bunch of promising forwards in Brady Martin, Joakim Kemmel, and Riker Lee in the last few drafts, and I think they should target a defenseman in June. So far they have been playing better than expected, and I don't think guys like O'Reilly and Forsberg will let this team finish at the bottom of the standings again, so I could see them finishing with a top 10 or top 15 pick. Carels would be a great addition to a future top 4 decor that includes first rounders Tanner Molendyk and Cam Reed, and if there's any team out there who knows how to develop defensemen, Nashville would be at the top of that list, so I think going there would be really beneficial for Carels. Last team, I mentioned them in the Chase Reed video, the New York Rangers. I think they'll turn it around this season, but not enough to make the playoffs, so a pick in the 12 to 13 range makes a lot of sense for me. With promising wingers in Malcolm Spence and Gabe Perreault in this system, and with a lack of centers in this draft, a defenseman makes most sense for the Rangers come June. They already have first rounder EJ Emery on that right side, and so Carels would be perfect for that future left side on their defense, and maybe in a few years he could move into that top 4 that currently has Carson Soucy listed in that second left defense spot. Like I mentioned with Chase Reed, the Rangers need to pick up some young players who can potentially make an impact, while franchise players Adam Fox and Igor Shesterkin are still in their primes, and I think Carson Carels could be that player for them. After this season, I expect him to go around the 11 to 12 pick in the draft, and would like to see him take the NCAA route for a couple seasons before jumping to the NHL. I project him to be a top 4 second power play unit defenseman, capable of 35 to 40 points, and I think any team who is looking for a stable defenseman should be keeping tabs on Carson Carels. That's it for the video. Let me know what you guys think and where you think he should go in the draft. Like and subscribe and stay tuned for tons more prospect content.